Hello and welcome back to Joshua the YouTube. Today, pretty special day. We got another delivery. The postman is being good to me recently. Big shout out to Takomo for sending me some new clubs. We have got the new Ignis Fairway Woods to test out. I have been sent a free wood, which is 15 degrees, I believe. That's what it plays as standard. And then we've also got a beautiful looking 5 wood as well. Really intrigued to test these out. First, kind of looks wise, when you put this down on the ground, the 3 wood does have quite a large surface area behind the face. And what I mean by that is normally I've been used to kind of using a 3 wood that's quite small head. So, you know, it's kind of a lot larger to what I've been used to using. But, you know, it just looks quite forgiving off the rip. I kind of like the top design. It looks like kind of like a carbon finish on the top of the face. Very smart, very clean. They do come with a weight package, but I'm not really going to mess around with that today. I'm just going to leave it as standard. Keep the 20 grams in it. It does have an optional 15 gram or a 25 gram weight, so you can make it lighter or heavier. But all depending on ball speed numbers, spin rate, etc. You know, might not even need to touch that. So I've opted for the extra stiff shaft, 60 gram hazardous. Very good shafts. I've used these before and, you know, no complaints. They're very, very solid shafts, very stiff. You know, I enjoy these. I quite like to see a low spin ball flight. So for me, you know, a very low spin shaft is great. I quite like that flight where I can hit it up high, chuck the spin off of it, especially with the woods, you know, and get them running. So super excited to see how this 3 wood plays. And then going into the 5 wood, kind of similar with the head. You know, there's a lot of area behind the face. I've never really used a 5 wood, to be perfectly honest with you. I've liked the idea of one, but I've always had that 2-iron in the bag that's just never gone anywhere. And, you know, I don't think it will. It just feels like such a comfortable club to hit. But, you know, I've been seeing more and more 5 woods on tour recently. And, you know, especially when you play a course with par 5s, when there's a bit of water you got to hit over, or, you know, you're hitting into a firm green, you got to land one soft from kind of 230, 240. These 5 woods are a perfect club for that. So a very similar shaft to the 3 wood, 60 grams as well, but it's shorter. So I'm intrigued to see how that plays out, you know. Definitely a couple of inches shorter in length, but very, very intrigued to see how that plays. I would have thought with the 5 wood, you'd probably go a little bit heavier, a little bit stiffer, but, you know, that might just chuck the ball flight up. The spin rate might go up as well. You know, that's what the 5 wood is made for. So that high spinny floaty shot. But, you know, overall looks wise, very, very smart. Very good looking club. And, you know, I'm super pumped to test these out. I'm excited. Let's see what all the hype is about. Okay, so actually different opinions with this 5 wood straight away. We're going to start off with the 5 wood and then build up to the 3 wood. Straight away, when I put this down, it actually, you know what, it doesn't look too shabby at all. There's multiple settings on these clubs as well. There's -1, -2U, -1U, U. You know, I should probably look into what they actually mean. I just chuck these straight on neutral. So I kind of like working from there. I don't really like going to a +2 setting first. I'll kind of hit it, see what it's like on neutral, and then work from there. So, yeah, I mean, off the rip, the shaft does feel light, you know, considering for a 5 wood club. But, you know, let's see what it's about. I've not warmed up, so this could go anywhere. But, excuses out of the way. Wow. I mean, what a ball flight. High, floaty, felt really nice off the face, that one. Super good off the face. 5,000 spin, a lot of spin. I don't really think that number's gonna come down as well with the 5-wood. As I say, these have got a purpose. So, you know, it is for that high floaty ball flight. So you can see there, the launch was still 13 degrees, but it's actually, you know, got a little bit of elevation to it. Let's hit another one. Okay, a little bit further carry. The carry will go up as I start to swing quicker. So 223 carry, releasing out to 238 there. Pretty good numbers, you know, and it feels really nice, which I'm surprised about, you know. It's yeah, it feels really good off the face. You know, I didn't think they were going to feel bad, but you know, actually a really nice feeling. Wow, this could be going straight in the bag. I mean, that is just beautiful. Nice and high ball flight. Not a lot of side spin on it at all. Wow. I mean, yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good, that. Spin rate a little bit high, I think. You know, but I'm not worried about that because that's what this club's designed for. So let's try and hit like a little bit of a lower one here. Just try and squeeze one out there. Wow, I could hit this club all day. I mean, you can see the launch has gone down. The backspin is kind of still up at that 5.2 mark. Peak height was 37. I'm not sure what the peak height was on the other ones. Let's check. So peak height on the other ones, yeah, so I've not actually brought that ball flight down at all there. It's kind of stayed at that 37 feet mark. So let's see if we can just chuck that ball flight down. That's my only concern with a 5-wood, is if it gets a little bit breezy. You know, I've always had that fear of chucking a 5-wood in the bag that it's just going to like come back at you almost. But let's see if we can really get like a squeezy one out there. There we go. That's much better. 8-degree launch, 27. So I've chucked that down by 10 feet. That, you know, and it's still at that 240 mark. Really nice. Really nice. And I like the sound of it as well. It sounds fantastic. You know, if I just bounce the ball off the face, you know, it's got quite a ting to it, which for me, I like. Some people prefer that like dead sound, like that woody sound, but I actually really like the sound of metal. You know, I think it should have a little ting to it. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what other shots to hit. I mean, if we pull that flag to, let's go at like a 240 flag, you know, give ourselves a situation here where we've got to fly the water at 220 and it's got to be nice and high and soft. Let's see what we can do here. Just pulled this one. I say pulled it, just spun it a little bit right to left. That's more me than the club, but you know, it flies to our mark. And, you know, it does the job. I think that's what a 5-wood is for them high floaty shots. So I'm very impressed. Let's go one more. Come on, for glory. Just to solidify the 5-wood. Wow, I mean, it's just so good. I've never had a club in the bag that just raises like that. But it's nice to have that option in there. So, you know, if we do get a course with some par 5s that we need to get some elevation in, see 42 feet of height there. So yeah, serves a purpose. 5-wood is a tick for me, a very good club. You know, I like the way it feels off the face. I like the way it sounds. You know, that 60 gram shaft, as I said, I think the spin rate's going to be high, but that's what a 5-wood is made for. So I think if you're expecting to get the most out of a 5-wood, I think that's where you chuck the 3-wood in, because you know, that's not what they're designed for. You can see very straight as well. I hit a really poor one on that last shot, or 2 shots ago, and it didn't really turn over loads, you know, maybe 25 yards, 30 yards, but we're still finding that 9 times out of 10. So yeah, it's a yes from me. Beautiful club. Let's move on to the 3-wood. Okay, Takomo 3-wood in hand. you know, same again, actually. When you put it down behind the ball, it's not too bad. You know, I'm not looking at that and it doesn't look super big. I just think I've always used very small head freewood. So, you know, for me, it comes as a bit as a surprise when I see a bit of surface area behind the face. But let's see how it performs. Hopefully it's the same as that 5 wood. Right, shot 1. Wow, how the hell is that doing? Absolutely munched that. Felt great. Didn't feel like it was going to go miles offline. Still feel like I've got a bit more in the tank to give there as well. You know, that wasn't flat out, but, you know, as first shots go, beautiful. Spin rate maybe a touch on the high side, but, you know, I'm not really going to moan at that. Let's see if we can just chuck it down a hair. Wow, I mean, that is ridiculous. Wow. They know how to make some golf clubs, these Takomo boys. That's good. That's very, very good. Wow. I am impressed. Very impressed. 2 beautiful shots there. You know, I'm not holding back on that second one there. I'm trying to give it a good bit of oomph. And, yeah, that's beautiful. And that neutral setting, you know, it sits... When you've got it on neutral, it does sit maybe a touch on the close side. Just a hair, a little bit offset, which means probably will draw a little bit, or a draw bias. So if you're someone that's fading it, not a bad option for you. But, you know, for me, I just kind of feel that little bit of closed face at address, and I know that it's going to move maybe, you know, in a dream world, 5 to 10 yards right to left like that one. And just pulled that one, but look at it. It's not, you know, it's not a million miles offline. We're still finding that 9 times out of 10. Ball speed creeping up there, 161. Beautiful. Okay, let's just see if we can get a little bit more behind this, get a bit more angle of attack on the up, just launch it a bit better, come on. Wow. I mean, I am giving that some as well, and it's just, I'll be honest, it just doesn't feel like it's going to go a million miles offline. That is unbelievable. I can't believe it. They might be going straight in the bag. Right, let's just go for that little bit of a low one. Squeeze one out there, shall we? Just see all shots. Look at that, just a grip down one. Chuck it a little bit lower. I mean, it's very impressive. Very, very impressive. I mean, I think I've ticked all boxes with it. I don't know what else I can do. You know, I stick to my draw. I know that's the shot that I want to hit. So, you know, I wouldn't try and hit a fade because I'm not great at the fade. Let's try and draw one again. Wow. I mean, I've tried to really turn this over, give it some. See, the carry's gone up to 255 there, releasing out total 273. You know, a beautiful, beautiful number for that free wood. Just a little bit behind the driver. Driver's looking at around about 300 marks. So, you know, that slots in beautifully. If we can get that 5 wood up, maybe tweak it down a degree, squeeze it to that like 245, 250 number, and then the 4-iron slots in at 230. So, for me, these are like gap fillers as well. It's very important to understand that with 3 wood and 5 wood and rescue or 2-iron, they're gap fillers. They're not clubs that you want to hit as far as you possibly can. They're clubs that want to fill in the gaps. And for me, from 230 to kind of 300, we've got a big gap there. So I'm looking for clubs that just slot in perfectly in them gaps, go as straight as possible, find the fairway, you know, you're comfortable over it. And, you know, straight off the rip, I'm feeling confident. I put that down behind the ball. It looks great. You know, I'm getting used to that little bit bigger head. Sounds good, you know. And I was surprised at these shafts. You know, I know that they're 60 grams. They were light. I was worried about that. But as you can see, spin rate numbers, you know, launch, ball speed, it wasn't really affected. So they've obviously done their research at Takomo, and these shafts do fit perfectly with them. So very impressed. Yeah, big shout out to Takomo for sending me the 3-wood and 5-wood. If you guys did enjoy that video and you want to see some different content on this channel, you want to see more reviews, you want to see more course vlogs, let me know in the comments down below. I really appreciate all the support. It means the absolute world to me. Absolutely overwhelmed with all the support that I've been getting on my channel. It really does mean the world to me. So thank you very much for watching. We will see you all for the next one. Like and subscribe.